Sean Spencer. We on air, people. We are live. And welcome to Live with Sean Spencer, your boy. Yo, so glad to be here with you guys.
That sun shining on you. Always put yourself in a position where the sun shines on you.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy back again, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duelist. Let's talk football. You see it right here. We are on air, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Off the Wall Sports with your boy, Sean Spencer, live and direct in your living room. Came at you a little bit later today, but I wanted to make sure I got all these facts and stats right and correct and everything good to go because I had to talk to my sources. I had to talk to my people. I wanted to let them know I'm about to be here live in your living room. We are here now with you on air. So happy to be with you guys today on this Tuesday, July the 14th, 2026. How are you guys doing? Hope everybody is doing well. I'm back with you. As you knew, yesterday I was here. I was talking a little bit of football, a little bit of NFL action. The Hall of Fame game, August 6th, is going to be here with you guys soon. So I'm definitely eager to get to that point in time. And now, hey, you know, football training camp is what, 3 days away? I think the Seattle Seahawks, I think they're the first team to get to training camp, and that's going to be July 17th. And then the 49ers, I believe, are the 18th. So, hey, we're right here. Hopefully, you guys are ready. I know I have been I'm just salivating, just waiting to get back into action, waiting to talk sports, waiting to talk football, man. So, you know, I got to get down with you. But there's a couple other things going on, and I'm kind of excited for it. I know y'all know that I'm a huge football guy, and you talk to me about it. We go back and forth, we chit chat, and I'm all for it. But unbeknownst to a lot of people, my first love, my first passion was baseball. I was a huge baseball fan. Grew up a Baltimore Orioles fan. In fact, first ever game I went to was at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. Cal Ripken Jr., Billy Ripken, Roberto Alomar, you know, Brady, all those guys I love it, man. That was a huge part of my life. And so when there's any baseball stuff going on, I definitely always have an eye to it, always watching my Orioles to see how they're doing. I don't think we've gotten up to 500 yet, but hey, we're going to get there. So I'm not worried about it, man. But now we are finally kind of at the midway point of the season. For those that don't know, there's 162 games in a season. And right now, we're at that middle part, that home stretch. And if you guys know, especially you guys that are watching baseball, it takes a lot to follow baseball all the way throughout the season. So what I'll normally do, if we're in it, and we're right in there, especially with the way that the American League is going this year, we still kind of have a shot. But now that we're still around, the All-Star break is here, okay? I'm going to dive into the home run derby and some of that type of stuff, but the All-Star break is finally here. So I'm going to start following towards the remainder and the end of the season. So definitely let me know where you guys stand. Who is your favorite team? Who do you guys rock with, man? I know I got a lot of my heads over here from Houston. They dig with the Houston Astros and things of that nature. I'm actually going to a Durham Bulls game, and that's obviously that's minor league, but they are the local North Carolina team, and I'm so happy to be there to go see that. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, there's that movie. I gotta actually watch it. It's called Bull Durham, man. One of my favorite movies of all time. Such a great movie. So I've been hyped to go to the actual stadium and kind of dig on what the movie was based on. So definitely let me know if you have been there. But look, like I alluded to, we are here. The All-Star game is coming up. A lot of the major league stars and all the studs that are coming out there to play that, and that's going to be great. I can't wait for it. But what we had just last night was something that I'm super hyped about. And if any of y'all know, a lot of people that don't really do baseball, it's because they think, okay, it's too slow. Okay, it takes too much time, X, Y, and Z. But there's one thing that everybody in baseball loves to see, and it's that homer, it's that moonshot, it's that hitting that thing out of the park, man. We have all these references to it and other things. And that's why when you get to this point of the year, middle of the season, the All-Star break, you have the home run derby. And I am such a huge fan of the home run derby. Obviously, you had those years with Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, some of those type of guys with Luis Gonzalez, some of those dudes. My favorite, all-time favorite baseball player, King Griffey Jr., and that sweet swing, backwards hat, knocking that thing out the park. So whenever we get down in the home run derby, I'm all about it. Now, this year, years past, it's always been that it's been the at bats have been based on a time clock. This year, they finally switched it to a swing based format. First round, you get 20 swings. The second round, you get 15 swings, and then in that finals, it's basically a keep going method. So if you hit a homer and your last one, is kind of like with bowling. At the end of your rack, if you bowl a strike, then they'll continue to let you bowl until if you keep hitting strikes or at least keep completing sets. And this one, if you hit a homer on your last one, they'll continually let you get at bats until you stop hitting homers, and that came into fruition this year. And listen, this one was, I mean, it was always cracked up to be. A lot of people are going to have issues, especially a lot of the people that were really into the whole baseball, the whole home run derby, a lot of the older heads, they really didn't know how they were going to feel about it being more of a swing based format, but it lived up to the expectation, in my opinion, far exceeded expectations, and it was great. It was definitely something that I was excited that we were able to see at that. Let me know how y'all felt about it. It was held at Citizens Bank Field in Philadelphia, so obviously the Philly fans, they were out. They were out in full number, and they even had two of their guys in the competition. Bryce Harper, who all my Washington fans, y'all remember Bryce Harper helped Washington. Didn't get us to. We had to wait till he, got traded out till we got our World Series champion. But Bryce Harper used to be over in DC, and then Kyle Schwarber, all the Cubbies fans, you guys know Kyle Schwarber was definitely big part of the Cubbies team and things like that. So they were both the Phillies representatives. But of the other members of the league that got in here, Wilson Contreras, the Red Sox, was in there. Jordan Walker, the Cardinals. Jacques Caglianon from the Royals. Teka Murakami of the White Sox, Ben Rice of the Yankees, Junior Caminero of Tampa Bay, and then Schwarber and Harper, both from the Philadelphia Phillies, man. And listen, one thing I love about this, man, is whenever you get to these obviously sometimes they have their own pitcher, their friend, their father, whoever, come up, throw those pitches, and you just get to see them crank these things out of the park. And I remember looking at some of the old home run derbies. You know what I mean? I talk about my love of King Griffey Jr. and how I don't know what year, I think it was 96, where he had the one that was at Camden Yards, which is the Orioles Stadium. And if you've been to Camden Yards, to the right side, it's like that big brick building right behind it. And you can actually walk when you're coming into the stadium, you can walk in between the brick building and kind of the outfield. And he hit it off of that wall. And if I'm not mistaken, that's also the place that Babe Ruth was born. If I'm not mistaken, fact check me on that. I'm pretty sure it was something to that, but he knocked it out of the park so far. Nobody's ever hit that wall or hit the brick over there. And I love going to those games, so it's always historical to kind of see. And I believe if you're walking back there, they have different spots that will show where different balls have landed in the home run derby. So it's always cool to kind of see that. But seeing that, and then obviously you had Sammy Sosa back when he was with the Cubbies, and hey, people will talk about what he was or what he was not on. Him and Mark McGuire definitely look juiced and they look big. But some of those moon shots that those guys used to hit, I mean, 400-500 feet, just crushing it out of the park. We saw a couple of those this one, but you really got to see a lot of good shots. And look, it if you watched it, you were not disappointed. And then let me know if you guys watched the home run derby last night, because it definitely was fire. And look, the first round, I didn't look and see prior to who was going to be some of the favorites. In my opinion, obviously Bryce Harper and Schwarber were two of the guys that I would have looked at as maybe some of the favorites, and also Wilson Contreras, because I've seen him play a lot through the first round. There was four that continued and moved on, but the overall totals in the first round: Wilson Contreras hit 13, Jordan Walker also hit 13, Jack hit 8, um, Murakami hit 9, Ben Rice hit 7, Junior Caminero hit his 12, and then Schwarber hit 10. But Bryce Harper hit 8, which was actually kind of low for Bryce Harper, because I've seen him at times. I think it was 2023, maybe 2022, where he actually won it all when it was at DC and he was at his home, and he was just crushing, homers all over the place. So it was funny because him and Schwarber were both Phillies. So you knew if he hit more, since Schwarber actually he moved on, but Schwarber hit the least amount of any of the guys that did move on. So had Bryce Harper hit 11, then Schwarber would have been knocked out. So it was kind of like Bryce Harper, who was hyping up the crowd before. He kind of took himself out by not hitting more than 10. He only hits 8. So you moved into the second round of that, man, and you start to see, okay, it starts to dwindle now. Now you get to the semifinals, and you have Junior Caminero versus Jordan Walker. You had Schwarber versus Wilson Contreras. And it was kind of funny because obviously he's a Phillies fan. So if you go into the bank, you go into the Phillies, like where Lincoln Financial used to be, to the bank and all that, with going against Eagles fans, you know how rowdy they are. If you go into Phillies Citizens Bank, the Phillies fans, they're all rowdy. Philadelphia, we know the whole Rocky mentality. They're rowdy. They come at you. They were booing anybody that was not the Phillies, but especially they went at Wilson Contreras. They went at Jordan Walker. They were just booing them. It was crazy hectic. They were getting on these guys, and you can just see. I mean, you want to talk about a mental. You have to keep your head about you mentally. That mentally tough. That's what you saw from these guys when Walker went up against Jordan Caminero. Caminero hit 5. Wasn't able to get the 12 that he hit before, but he got his 5 in there. Walker did just enough and got 6. Kyle Schwarber was cranking him. I mean, he hit 9 in this semifinal round, and he was just smashing these things out of the park. Wilson Contreras, for his right, did great, hit 8. Wasn't able to get past Schwarber, but I mean, you can just tell when he was going up to bat. I mean, they were brutal. That crowd was letting him have it, just booing him and heckling and saying all this type of stuff. And I mean, the mental fortitude, just come up there and just keep cracking them out of the park. Just coming up just a little bit short on that. And hey, that's kind of how it happened. So you got Wilson Contreras and Junior Caminero, both of them fell out. You go up here, you get the finals, the home run derby finals with Kyle Schwarber, Jordan Walker. Kyle Schwarber hops out, gets his 11, and I mean, the crowd is going crazy. They are losing their minds because this is their guy. This is their guy. This is the guy that we all know they love dearly. He's a Philly. He's a hometown guy. And if you saw him, he was jacked. He was hitting some out those park, and he had that kind of aura, like, yeah, this is my house. This is my house. Just knocking him out of there, man. And I was sitting there watching, like, damn, bro. That's okay. Yeah, that's the way you have to feel. And I mean, both him and Harper, if you saw in the beginning, Harper was sitting here, they had like a little kind of fake half ring, kind of situation where they were bringing the guys up to show them and introduce them, whatever. And Harper was hyping up the crowd, getting on top of the ropes and kind of doing a little WWF hype, like really getting them into it. So having Schwarber get this far and do as well as he did, I mean, look, the crowd was going nuts, and he went first. But then when you had Jordan Walker come, and Jordan Walker, man, had this real cool, calm demeanor, half backwards. had the chains on, just sitting here, doing his things, and it gets up to the end. He has to sit here and knock out at least 11. Okay, so he's not struggling. He's hitting them. He's hitting them. He's getting them knocking out of the park. But when it came up to his last at bat, he had to hit. He had to hit at least 5 to tie, 6 to get the dub. And his last 6 at bats, he cranked them jokers out of the park. His last one, he ended up hitting right down center field, knocking that thing out of the park. This is a young guy. I think about like 24 years old. I mean, you just see him sit here and he just looks so calm. And it's easy to look at it from the screen, but if you actually listened in and heard the crowd and heard how much they were getting at him and the boos and jeers and the heckling and all that stuff, and he just calm as can be, click, and just knocking those things out of the park. It was extremely impressive to see a guy that's not even making a mill. When you win that, gets $1 million just from winning, the home run derby, man. But he ends up hitting his last 6 at bats were home runs, takes the title, beats Schwarber with 12 to Schwarber's 11, man. Definitely he embraced him, and his dad ends up coming in there and talk to him at his interview at the end of it, man. And it was just so cool to see the calm, the demeanor that he had to go up in that very hostile environment, do what he did. And I'm gonna be very honest with you, new guys come in all the time. And a lot of these guys, maybe you'll recognize. You have the Harpers, the Schwarbers, Wilson Contreras, some of these guys that you recognize. But Jordan Walker, St. Louis, let me know if you guys know, because I hadn't heard of the guy. I'm being very honest with you. I had not heard of him. And it's so cool to see him jump out here and dominate like this and just each round keep moving, and keep swinging it out of the park, man. He's the first Cardinal to ever win the home run derby. And I mean, all in all, it was a great turn. It was a great derby. I think it was in the first round they hit like 75 total home runs between all of them. I mean, it was epic. And like I said, I'm somebody who I'm very traditional. I like the way things have been, have once were, have always been. And to have this come out and to have it like this is something that was new, and to kind of have it go the way it's gone, I'm with that, man. I was all for that. I'm excited to kind of see how things ended up playing out, man. And hey, if this is the new way we're doing it, good. Cut the time clock. Let's if they're hitting and they're hot and they're on point, let's let them keep hitting, man. And you saw what we saw tonight, man. So shout out to Jordan Walker, or last night, I mean. So shout out to Jordan Walker. Shout out to him for just being able to knock these balls out of the park, man, and win, bring that title back to St. Louis. Now let's see what happens, in the actual series and the actual how things play out. And throughout baseball. Let me go ahead and actually see if I can't look at, while we're here, we'll go ahead and look at the standings, because now we are on the All-Star break. So being that it is on the All-Star break, we'll look at some of the things. Like I told you, Baltimore still under 500 at 46 and 51. In the American League East, you have the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, who are 56 and 38, dominating. And the next closest team in at least the East is the Yankees, who are 3 games back. But Boston, Baltimore, and Toronto all at least 10 to 11 games back of the surging Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Then you got Chicago in the Central at 50 and 45. Who were just about a half a game above, about a full game above Cleveland, and then Minnesota, Detroit, and it kind of gets worse as you go down there. Then Texas is 49 and 47. That in that West, you got between those top 3 teams, there's about a game and a half that separates them. And then obviously Houston 47-51. They're trying to come up, but the East, if you really look at it, you have the Devil Rays who are far ahead of it. But you have the White Sox with 50 wins, and then you have the Yankees, and then you have the Cleveland Guardians have 51 wins. but everybody else is not that far down. I mean, Red Sox and Baltimore both have 46. Twins got 48. Texas, Seattle 49, 48, 49. So you get a surge coming into the second half of the season, and it's anybody's ball game. There's only a couple games in between a lot of these teams that are potential playoff teams at this moment. So this is definitely that time to get that break, to kind of reset and see kind of how these things play out towards the end of the year. If you go to the National League, you have it's much higher as far as some of the league leaders. You got the Braves who are dominant and 2 games above the Phillies. The Braves are 55 and 40, while the Phillies are 54 and 43. And then you got Miami Marlins who are 52 and 45. So those top 3 teams are moving up there. Then you go over here to the Central, and Milwaukee's just cleaning it out with 59 and 37 going into it, and the Cubbies being 54 and 42. And then look, St. Louis and Pittsburgh both having 50 wins. And I mean, you're looking at the Central in the top, and 4 out of 5 teams in the Central are above 500. So you're seeing how dominant, the National League is. And then clearly the defending World Series champ, the Dodgers at 61, by far better than any team in in Major League Baseball at the time, with the next closest team being 11 and a half games back, being the Arizona Diamondbacks at 49-47. So look, I mean, right now, from this stands vantage point, if we're going by the numbers, obviously it looks like the Dodgers are on a crash course back to getting their potential third in a row. Who knows if that will happen? But it's going to be quite interesting to see down the stretch. But Milwaukee definitely wants to have something to say about it, and I'd watch out for Atlanta and Philadelphia. They clearly are not, not going to go away quietly, man. So this second half of this season is definitely going to be interesting. I want to, towards the later in the season, definitely get my guys, Nicholas Rosario, Ben Cornett, Alex Loosemore, some of those guys who really follow baseball, get them on here, have them talk, and let them, kind of dive into kind of some of these races and how far, where it's gonna go. Who do they think is gonna do it? I know my guy Ben Cornett is a um, diehard Dodgers fan, and was so hyped that they had won back-to-back World Series. Now let's see if they can get that third one. Their roster definitely points in that direction, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm eager to see kind of how things play out. Now look, we're also going to cover when it comes out the All-Star game. You're going to want to check that out, man. But we're going to try to see. Might even go and watch it. Maybe go live while we watch it. But we're going to try to check the All-Star game out and kind of, see, how it's looking this year. We're getting to 2026. We're in 2026, so we want to see kind of the flair. We want to see all of the extra stuff that's surrounding it. This being one of those things. All-Star Weekend is always kind of cool in NBA and Major League Baseball, where it's in the middle of the season, as opposed to the Pro Bowl and NFL being towards the end of the season, actually after the playoffs and things of that nature. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm definitely hyped to kind of see how this whole thing plays out. And hey, that's where we're at, man. So we definitely want to jump into that home run derby and get in on that, and give my little 2 cents on that. Love talking about that, and we're gonna cover a lot more baseball as this season definitely goes down. But look, it has been your boy Sean Spencer, Off the Wall Sports. You see them, Off the Wall Media here on Off the Wall TV, doing big things. Zolani's in the mix. What's going on, Zolani? Definitely check out my guy Zolani, man. He's Houston's finest DJ, killing the game, doing big things, man. Had to hop in there once back in over earlier in the summer when I was vibing, doing some painting, man. Had him on in the background, man. Had me doing big things. Zolani in the building. What up, boy? How you feeling, man? How you feeling, man? But look, we got to go ahead. You caught me right when I was about to go take a break, man. We got to go ahead and take a quick breather, and we're going to come right back talking a little football with you, man. Got to talk a little Aaron Donald, man. A lot of talk, a lot of rumors have been going out there. Will he come back? Is he going to go back with the Rams? I don't know, but I need to know. I need y'all to tell me how y'all feel. And Also, going to talk about linebackers. We started our series where we're talking about best running backs, top 10 running backs in the league, top 10 quarterbacks. We did that yesterday. Today we're going to cover the top 10 linebackers, and this is based on NFL execs. This is based on coaches, scouts, all those things. So you're gonna want to check it out, man, and give us your 2 cents. Where do you stand? Who's your squad? How's the linebacker crew? I need to know, man. Hey, Washington, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, since it's about to be football season and we're about to talk football, I got to shout out the brand, me and my co-host, the amazing Janae Struther of Let's Talk Football and our series of shows. You're going to want to check this out, man. If you're a football fan, you're going to want to see what we got going on. I'll be back with you on the other side, man. Be right back. Yeah.
Episode of Let's Talk Football.
Yep.
I am Janae Struther.
I am Sean Spencer.
I am Janae Struther.
I'm Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football. Woo! Season 3, we are back. We are back.
That's right.
What's up,
Here we
Mom?
go. Mr. Nick, I want the smoke, Rosario.
Hey, what's happening, kids? How we doing?
Janae, Sean, thanks for having me.
We made baseball, football, and basketball. Great.
Is Carson back?
Everyone played to the last play. There's other leagues like Ravens, Blues. How hard is it for this guy? You know what I'm saying? I would take the Bucks, but
I'm a call your mama. I'm a call your mama.
Like we can't back up.
I know
Maybe you guys need to start wearing cream.
All right. I am Janae Struther.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
Yeah, buddy. That is the brand. Let's Talk Football. We bring you all the news and notes, commentary, and back and forth on football, especially once the football season has started. Hey, and guys, we're 4 days away from training camp. We're right around the corner. The Hall of Fame game is in August 6th, and I could not be more excited. I am so ready to see any type of pad-on-pad contact, some heads cracking. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. I am so hyped for that, man. So definitely join us this fall. We're gonna be in here chit-chatting it up. I gotta redo that video, man. There's not, some of the shows are maybe gonna take a little hiatus or whatever, but it's still gonna be dope. And I am so excited to bring that to you guys this fall. Look, it is your boy Sean Spencer. You see it on the screen. Off the wall sports, talking the NFL, NBA, college football. Got thrown into Major League Baseball. I talked a little World Cup soccer. And while I got a minute, hey, Zelani, I don't know if you're still in here. Shout out to my guy Zelani, man. I don't even have my cheers. I wish I had my claps in here. But Zelani got picked as one of the Houston DJs to be a part of the World Cup, doing some DJ work and actually working in some of those places. And he's one of the few that got picked. Shout out to him, man. That's a big honor. It's a beautiful thing, man. Always got to show love to all the people out here, part of the off the wall media that are doing big things, man. So shout out to you, man. I look forward to seeing all the constant, progression and big things you be doing, man. So keep that stuff up for real, because it's definitely good to see. But look, we're back and we got to talk a little football. I did talk baseball because I'm a diehard baseball fan and I love the home run derby. So I wanted to get that going for you. But I also want to talk football. We right around the corner, man. And I'm trying, look, and you got to bear with me, because once football season gets going, I definitely get the tunnel vision. I get very narrowly focused, and all I'm trying to do is talk football. And I know there's a lot of other sports this year. I'm gonna really try to talk some college basketball. I'm gonna try to get into some NBA. See if the Knicks are gonna defend the title. See if my Wizards are gonna show up this year. See if Caleb Wilson, who had dominated for the Bulls. I had my boy Andy hit me up like, "Yo, are you seeing this guy? This guy's killing it, yo." So shout out to everything that is going to go on in all these other sports because it's going to be dope to see. But while we're here, you already know what it is. We got to talk ourselves some football. And the question that anybody's been asking this all season, especially since Myles Garrett was traded from Myles Garrett got traded from the Cleveland Browns to the LA to the Rams. Keep trying to say, yo, ever since that happened, since he came over, yeah, no, it's LA Rams, right? Yeah. What am I thinking? Oh my goodness, I'm out of here. Yo, ever since he got brought, Myles Garrett came over here. Now everybody's been asking that question. Aaron Donald, you coming back, man? Are you coming back? We need to know, are you going to come back? And I have said it. I have said it day in and day out. With Myles Garrett there, with Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, the offense you have, you bring in some defensive help. You have guys all over the place that are studs. And then you add in Myles Garrett. This is a team in the Rams that was already on the doorstep of the Super Bowl. They already had the MVP, the reigning MVP, Matt Stafford, who has already led them to a Super Bowl victory. And that was the last game that Aaron Donald played. And he said, yo, give me my ring. I'm out of here. At 32, he retired. He did everything that he needed to do. And rightfully so. He got what he needed to get. He rolled out, still had his health, still had his mental health, still had his old body right. He was good. Now he can live and enjoy the rest of his life. But he never thought that Myles Garrett would be coming onto the team. And now you are having a team that is stacked. Now you have a team that is basically everybody's favorite to take it the distance this year. And if you add Aaron Donald, if you add him to the squad, I'm going to be honest with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be very, very honest with you. That could be a super team. Now, I know we've heard it. I ain't going to go back over years when you heard certain people when they started bringing all these players on their team and they're like, oh, yo, we got a super team. And it was far from that. But I'm going to read off some of the names on this potential team. Matt Stafford, the reigning MVP. You have Devontae Adams, who still might not be in his prime, but still is in his season. He's still balling out. Puka Nacua, his head is on straight. One of the top 5 wide receivers by production in the league, in my opinion. You have a legit line. You have a solid defense. Okay. You have now Myles Garrett, who just broke the single season sack record, who's 2-time defensive player of the year. And now you're going to bring in Aaron Donald. Now, for those of you that do know, maybe you just know the name. Maybe you just know that he came from Pittsburgh. Maybe you just know he was a good player. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a great player. He's a player that a lot of people would put on, all decade teams, and potentially I've seen a lot of lists of all-time defenses that have him in the middle as one of the guys as your D tackle. And this is the reason why. 10 seasons, okay? 10 Pro Bowls, 8 All-Pros, 3 Defensive Players of the Year, Rookie of the Year, 2-time Super Bowl attendee, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl ring. The guy walked away in his prime, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, the last play of the game, he ended up getting the sack to shut down Joe Burrow and the Bengals to end up getting that title, or the sack or the disruption to get their end up title. This guy is the truth, 100%. So he would help any team if he came back. But now you're pairing him with last year's defensive player of the year, last year's was it sack leader. and Myles Garrett. The combination of those two guys on the team, bro, it's otherworldly. So the question remains, is he coming back? Is he going to join the Rams and potentially help them on a Super Bowl run this coming year? That's what everybody wants to know. That's what everybody's trying to clamor about. And I'm going to be honest with you, nobody has the answer. And maybe part of the reason that nobody has the answer is because Aaron Donald himself is not really telling us what we want to hear. He's not really saying, yes, I'm coming back. He's not really saying, well, no, I'm good. I'm good. We know a couple things. Number one, we know that he posted up an interview like that he did, not an interview, but just a talk that he did with his wife, basically naming all the accolades that I just named, and basically saying, hey, look, I'm satisfied. I'm good. I'm complete. I've done everything I needed to do. He got the ring. He said he's burnt out, wants to see the next part of his life. Okay. I can't blame it. We've seen so many different guys that have ended their career, having mental problems, having issues with their body, not being able to fully appreciate their retirement. And he got out on top in one of the most grueling positions of being defensive tackle. I mean, you're literally in the trenches every single play. And with how good he was, he's getting double teamed, at times triple teamed. He's getting cut. He's getting chop block, everything. I mean, they did everything in their power to shut this guy down and still couldn't do it. He still played at a high level. And so you're looking at it like, bro, you got away. There's a lot of guys that don't get away. There's a lot of guys that are struggling, barely keeping it together to keep playing, and you were able to get away. But listen, the love of the game is strong, but opportunities, sometimes the ability to play with some of those greats. We've seen a number of times where these players will come back and be like, I just want the opportunity to play one more time, or just the opportunity to play with X, Y, and Z. Let me play with this guy. Let me play with that guy. We've all seen those opportunities. This is going to be a huge opportunity if he ends up coming and playing with a Myles Garrett, with a Matthew Stafford. Again, he played Matthew Stafford before, but come playing with some of these guys where it's not going to be easy. It's never going to be easy. You're not just going to walk in here and go to the Super Bowl. Okay, let me first say that. But it would be pretty favorable for them to get to the Super Bowl. I'm going to say that. A lot of people, including myself, have put them pretty high on that list if he does come back. So the question remains, are you coming back? Aaron, we all want to know. And to his defense, he's talked about it. People have sent videos, from far away. Is that Aaron Donald on the field? Is he walking? Is he talking to him? Obviously, once he heard the whole situation, I think it was Pat McAfee that reached out to him, and saying, "Hey, 35," and Aaron's kind of like, "Look, it sure got me thinking. You got to see if he can light that fire up." Because one of the things that happened when he left, he said the fire was out. It almost reminds me of Barry Sanders. You played 10 years. You gave it everything you had. But the minute the fire was out, it just sometimes you can't rev if you're done, if you're just not can't rev it up for it anymore, you're just not, no, I'm not gonna do it anymore. And hey, that's to their credit, he was great. He absolutely did it. Some people cannot let that fire dim out, and you see guys that will play far beyond their years, far beyond the time that they need to get down there. But he's one of those that he was, kudos to him for saying, I'm good. My time is done. My fire is out. Shout out to another person, Jordan Schultz, texted him from the Schultz Report and said he talked to Aaron and said he said, I'm for sure flirting with the idea. Hell of an opportunity with the Super Bowl and SoFi this year. If I can find the fire, it's a possibility, end quote. So we know that he's looking at it at least. We know the team is set up. McVay and them have already been like, hey, man, you can come back over here. You get your spot back. We'll get you on there. We'll rock out. But to get back on the field, to actually want to get back out there and play and go through the training camp. That's one of the things he talked about. I don't want to do the training camp. I don't want to have the rehab. Don't want to have to go through all those situations, all the extra stuff. It's not just showing up on Sunday. It's going through the extra stuff in the background that's going to make a huge, huge difference to be if he wants to come back or not. And we don't know what kind of special treatment he might get, because my thought of him, if he comes back, he's coming back fully, which means he's going to get back out there and he's going to give it everything he's got. And does he want to go through that? And here's the other part of this. He's married, so his wife is sitting here like, for real? We even entertaining this? You're good. You're good. And it's funny, on X, his wife, Erica, in my opinion, she ain't having it. She posted, y'all are hilarious. You know what I mean? Basically saying, he ain't coming back. I don't know what y'all think. Y'all are trying to get him to entertain this stuff. But nah, the buck stops with her. So, and we'll see. We'll see what he says. We'll see what he does. You guys let me know what you think. Is Aaron Donald, in your opinion, coming back? Do you think he will come back to the NFL, play for the Rams, give the Rams a potential extra little bit of juice to make it to the Super Bowl? We know they're probably going to be one of the favorites. We know they're probably going to be, that would absolutely stack that defense and build up a team. We know they're going to try their damnedest to get to the Super Bowl and get past the Super Bowl, last year's Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks, who are in their division, and they already got a healthy San Francisco team. And we're going to talk about one of their players that they're getting back, because they're going to need every bit of a team to kind of beat San Francisco. Hey, this is it. The Rams, this is something that's right there in front of you. So it's not like he's coming to a team that's struggling. He's coming to his team that will be built and ready for him, and he might be that final piece. So I'm excited, man. I want to know what you guys think. Should he come back? Will he come back? Would you want? Obviously, if you're a Rams fan, you definitely want him back. Shout out to Scott Thaler, because I know he's sitting here like he's sending him postcards and stuff every day. Come on back. Come on back. I get it. We'll see what happens. Do I think he's going to come back? I think we all need to wait and see. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Sean Spencer of Off the Wall Sports. I hope you are liking what we're doing. We're over here chit-chatting, talking, getting down about it. I had to rock with you a little football. We got a little bit more for you as far as with football. And just talking about it. But I wanted to ask that question. Is Aaron Donald going to return? You guys let me know what you think. For me in my house, I think he stays put. I think he stays where he is at. I think he's going to tease us, but I think he's going to stay put. Now, would I want him to come back? Absolutely. Aaron Donald, we've seen as how great he is. I absolutely want him to come back. Will he come back, on the other hand? I don't know. That remains to be seen. But if he comes back, all roads lead through the Rams, period. They all do. So we'll see. But look, ladies and gentlemen, I got to pay the bills. So let me really quickly shout out my guy, Mr. Anton Benton. Awesome artisans. You're going to want to check him out. He does great work. If you need work done, get in touch with him. I will be right back on the other side talking about the top 10. Top 10 linebackers. Starting to get in your head. Who are the top 10 linebackers in the NFL? Let me know. Be right back. Yeah, buddy. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer. Shout out to my guy, Anton Benson. Awesome artisans. Definitely check him out. He lives in Virginia Beach, but he will definitely travel up and down the East Coast and towards the Midwest. He does great work. He can work inside, he can work outside. I mean, he works what he put together an indoor closet for my guy. I know he worked in an office building when I was there. He just had something. We worked on an indoor pool. He's worked in the yard. He's done a little bit of everything. He's definitely what I consider a Mr. Fix It type dude. Does great work, hard working dude. So you're definitely going to want to get at him. You see the sign right there, ladies and gentlemen. It says we are on air and we are live and direct in your living room. Blah. You know how we operate. It's your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo. Let's talk football. Today I'm here with Off the Wall Sports. You see it, Off the Wall Media up there, Off the Wall TV, and we are going to continue our top 10 series as we get one day closer to the NFL. And look, we got to talk about it, man. Top 10 linebackers in today's NFL. Now, look, we already know. I talked to you about last week edge rushers, or just today actually, just about edge rushers. You know, a couple of with Myles Garrett and the D line type stuff with Aaron Donald potentially coming back. That's that first line. That second line of defense, and sometimes the most important line, is that linebacker. We've seen greats like the Ray Lewis, the Mike Singletary. We've seen outside linebackers like LT, you know what I mean, Derek Thomas. Some of these great names over the years. And today, it's a kind of a different flavor. It's kind of different flow. Obviously, the edge rusher and you know it's kind of they're up on the line, but when you have linebackers, sometimes they're coming down and playing a little edge, and sometimes they're getting back out there. So we're gonna dive into a couple picks that the NFL has. These are NFL execs. These are NFL head coaches. These are scouts, assistant coaches, all of them that are coming together to give their choices for who they think are the top 10 NFL linebackers in the league. I'm excited to see what it is. I'm going to be seeing this along the lines with you. And look, before we get into the top 10, we're also going to get into, you know, those that are receiving votes, those that are, you know, kind of on the honorable mention list. And let me know how y'all feel about this. Is your favorite linebacker on this list? You let me know where you stand. So before we get to the top 10, let's first go to guys that are receiving votes. There's a number of names. You might recognize some of these names on this list. Tremaine Edmonds on here. Frankie Louvu, shout out to Washington. Bobby Wagner, hey, he was in Washington the last couple years. I think he's a free agent now. First ballot Hall of Famer by far. Foyesade Oluokun, Ernest Jones, the fourth. Zaire Franklin, TJ Edwards, Caden Ellis, Drake Greenlaw, Jihad Campbell. I mean, a number of these names, some of them you might not have heard of, some of them you have heard of, but all of these guys make an impact and definitely for their money are legit. I can speak for two right now, Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu, that are absolutely on fire. And hey, wait 1 second. I got my guy Johnny Dean in the building. Let me take this minute really quickly. Let me pause because whenever my people come in the building, I got to shout them out and say, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, my guy. You know this is live, baby. This ain't memories. This is live and direct in your living room, baby. What's up, Johnny Dean, man? Happy birthday, my friend. I'll definitely chop it up with you a little bit later. I'm doing top 10 linebackers in the NFL today, Johnny. So let me know. Let me know what you got. Who is your top 10 linebackers, man? I just gave a couple of people that are potentially receiving votes. I'm going to look at a couple of the people that are on the right outside the list of linebackers, and then until we get into our list. So one of the guys that Demario Davis, he's now with the Jets. We've seen him kind of up near the top, up near the list. You know, Patrick Queen of Pittsburgh, very good when he turns it on and uses that speed and that strength, man. Definitely legit. Marvion Overshown of Dallas. I've seen him. Moves like a safety. Incredibly talented. Let's see what he does without the injury. Yes, Ray Lewis. But I'm talking about this year, Johnny. I'm talking about 2026. You already know. I've already hit out the Ray Lewises. We can go as far back as saying, Willie Lanier, Ray Nitschke. We can go to the Lamberts, Carl Mecklenburg. We can go to Singletary, Wilbur Marshall. We can go, to Derek Thomas. We can go to, all these guys. You know what I mean? LT. We can go to all these names, but we gotta focus on the current. I'm talking about top 10 linebackers in today's NFL that we're doing. And Quay Walker's another one that got on that honorable mention list. We know he was in Green Bay. We'll see what he does in this year coming up. Now, let's go with it. Starting at number 10, this guy's in Carolina right now. A lot of people have kind of been hyped to see what he's going to do. We know that Carolina defense has definitely been elevated over the last couple of years, and especially going into last year where they made the playoffs. I know you don't like hearing this, Johnny, being in that division, but they won the division and going into the playoffs. Devin Lloyd of the Carolina Panthers definitely maximized his talent last year. As a first-round pick, he balled out right before free agency. Look, he had 5 interceptions and 5 tackles for loss last season. The last linebacker to do that was Shaquille Leonard in 2011. And look, the guy is legit. 2026. Well, since they haven't played yet, I'll take Alex Anzalone for the Buck. All right, Johnny. Yeah, no, I'm talking about coming into this year. So basically, based on last year into this year, Johnny. Thanks. I wanted to definitely clarify that. But look, Devin Lloyd's a physical run player. Loves his length in the zone and gets his hands on the football. Man, this guy can play. Okay, this guy can ball left, right. You definitely stretch the field on defense, keeps everything in front of him. Definitely can get real physical in that run game. And I think, he's definitely going to help. If he keeps healthy, he will help that Carolina Panthers defense, who's really going to have a lot to be tested with knowing how Atlanta, I think they're going to be significantly better. And obviously Tampa Bay, I think they're going to be legit. If you ask some of these Tampa Bay fans, they're going to be a 12-win team. But I'm not gonna go down that road. Yo, number 9 on this list, Edgerrin Cooper of the Green Bay Packers. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The size, the speed, the run and hit ability. This guy can go. Okay, this guy is somebody that really turned up that defense. Obviously, last year they had Quay Walker, and then you bring in Micah Parsons. But even before the Micah Parsons, bringing him onto the team, you saw how dominant these guys were. And Edgerrin Cooper was one of those guys that definitely lifted up that defense and put them on the map. Now, we've seen them play well. We've seen this guy get out there. I mean, he's like a bullet. You know what I mean? 4.5, you think like 4.5, 40 speed. The guy 6'2", 229. The guy can move. The guy can rumble. I mean, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Edgerrin Cooper, and he's one of those guys coming into this coming year that could really have this Packers ready to try to get in there and potentially win the title of the NFC Central. So, or NFC North. I don't know why I said Central. I was doing baseball. I was going way back in the day. You remember the NFC Central, Johnny? Yeah. Matter of fact, you guys were in the NFC Central. Way back in the day. So look, let's keep it moving. And I know our linebackers are outside. Oh yeah, outside and inside. If so, Max has to be one, right? Max, Johnny, who you talking about? Max who? You talking about? I see that double X. I know Crosby. He's an edge rusher, isn't he? Let me know what you're talking about, Johnny. But yeah, let's get into number 8 on this list. And I know this is somebody that my dear homegirl. Let me get that going. There we go. My dear homegirl Tina Winter is going to love. Kansas City Chiefs linebacker. Yes, we're there until Ray. Jay was built Crosby. Yeah, Crosby. I thought Crosby was an edge rusher. Let me know. I thought Crosby was the edge rusher. Let me know if he's a. I didn't think he was a linebacker. But yeah, number 8 on this list is Nick Bolton of the Kansas City Chiefs. We have seen his ability throughout the years. Nick Bolton has been a dominant force. I mean, his instincts, his toughness, production. He's up there, in my opinion, among the top. The fact that he's down here at 8, kind of interesting to me, man. He recorded 10 or more tackles for loss in the second consecutive season. I think he's one of those guys that definitely should be elevated a little bit higher. But I can see why, he's kind of down here to where he is. I mean, the guy, he's long, his speed and coverage. I mean, the guy is able to play great, um, on defense and has been a huge part of that defense for the Chiefs. So I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see because we know he can play. He has the speed to kind of go out there and play slot corner. So I want to see how they look at him and him being down here as far as number 8. Moving up to 7, this guy from Miami, Jordan Brooks. Ladies and gentlemen, 27th pick in the 2020 draft. The guy's ascending. We've seen what he was able to do with Seattle before he had the ACL injury in 2022, but he's definitely recouped. He definitely got his career back going and good. And Jordan Brooks is one of those guys that I'm gonna be honest with you. He's the first Dolphins player to lead the NFL in tackles since Zach Thomas in 2006. Okay, the guy has skill. The guy has ability. He might be a name that you haven't heard of. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the most familiar with his name, but the guy has showed up that he showed us he can play over the years and truly legitimate for what he's been able to do. Now, let's move on to number 6, Azeez Al-Shaair for the Houston Texans. Finally, after 7 seasons, this guy's getting his due. He's a veteran. Okay, and he has been one. We all talk about how dominant the Texans defense is. We all talk about they're one of the best defenses in the league, and this guy is a part of that. He just, ultra physical defender, and he embodies Houston defense. He embodies that. Just got himself a 3-year, $54 million contract. So he's definitely getting recognized. A lot of people, one of the comments they were saying is he's the Dennis Rodman of linebackers in the NFL. I mean, he gets in everybody's head. He's definitely gets that team jacked up. He 9 passes defended a year ago, and and he had over 100 tackles. You know what I mean? Like the guy can play. Okay, and we've seen him. I know he had that. If I'm not mistaken, he was the guy that kind of knocked, what's his name? Trevor Lawrence's lights out a couple years ago, where Trevor Lawrence was sliding and he came and hit him like a bullet shot. And then Evan Ingram kind of went after him and everything, and they were going to suspend him in the game. But he is one of those linebackers, one of the many players on that Houston defense that monster. That is a definite, legitimate piece on that defense. And I'm looking to see kind of where he goes after this. All right, moving up to number 5, my guy Johnny talked about the once Detroit Lion, Alex Anzalone. Well, this guy right here is a Detroit Lion that was picked up a couple years ago, and what I think was a steal when the Lions picked up Jahmyr Gibbs and they picked up this guy, Jack Campbell, both in the first round. We know Jack Campbell out of Iowa. I mean, this guy has been a steady climber on this list. In years past, he was not ranked on this list. I think last year he was an honorable mention on this list. And a lot of people have seen him up here. A lot of these execs and coaches think he should be up here as high as number 1 on this list. Like I like where he's at 5. I think there's a couple guys, if healthy, that are a little bit better than him. But this guy is one of those guys that reminds you of a guy like Chris Spielman. Johnny, that's another name. Yeah, Campbell's a good choice. Chris Spielman, that's another name of all. If we're talking about all-time linebackers in the league, Spielman is another one of those guys. Jack Campbell kind of gives you those Chris Spielman vibes. He kind of gives you that feel of a Brian Urlacher. You know what I mean? Somebody that can get in the middle and just kind of read the play and assess it and dominate it, man. Excellent football IQ. This guy just sit there in May, got himself a 4-year, $81 million deal. The Lions are really trying to secure him, and that's what you want. I mean, he had 176 tackles last year. That's the kind guy you want to lock down. Make sure you keep him on the squad. And him being at 5, I like where they have him at. Number 4 on this list is Philadelphia Eagles linebacker Zach Bond. We've seen he just after his All-Pro season just parlayed that into a 3-year, $51 million deal during the 2025 all season. Hey, the guy consecutive Pro Bowls, definitely in the top 10 ballot, top 10, definitely had ballot, one of the on the top 10 list. His lateral quickness, incredibly smart player. I mean, the guy is great, especially in the scheme that he's in Vic Fangio's scheme. This is the type of guy that great getting pressure or can play off the ball. This guy is a great dual threat. I mean, over at least 120 tackles, and like 10 disruptive dropbacks where either he had a sack or forced a tip pass, defended pass, or a pass that was intercepted or whatever. This guy can play. Okay, everybody's heard about him. I got to see him 2 times a year, so he's wreaked havoc in our backfield without a shadow of a doubt. Now, number 3 on this list, ladies and gentlemen, plays for Cleveland Browns, and this is one of the things this is one of the reasons why we all know the Myles Garrett trade is going to hurt Cleveland, no doubt about it. But one thing I will say about that trade and bringing Jared Verse over to Cleveland, that Cleveland defense was good even without Garrett. Now, it's going to be a significant difference without Garrett. But I do think that Cleveland defense is good. You know how you got, I think, Ward in the secondary. And you got this guy, Carson Schwessinger, linebacker. This guy, a lot of people think he's one of the next guys, Luke Kuechly type, elite speed, athleticism, instincts, ball skills. This guy is one of only 3 players with at least 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 10 tackles for loss. Other than were and the others were T.J. Watt, Laiatu Lahu. This guy is a monster. Okay, this guy can play, great ball skills. The guy 156 total tackles, 11 of them for loss. Schwessinger is one of these type of dudes that, I mean, he just plays fast, has excellent instincts. The guy is dominant and really gets overlooked by the fact that he had obviously dominant player in Myles Garrett. But anybody on that team would get overlooked if you have Myles Garrett on the team. But he really held it down in the middle. And unfortunately, obviously, with all the craziness in Cleveland, you don't get to see some of these other guys that really have been able to dominate and have been able to play really well. Now, a lot of their dominance is also because of how good Myles Garrett is and how much attention Myles Garrett has to demands by y'all getting them blocking him. But you get a guy like Carl Schlesinger, and I'd watch out for him this coming year. He's number 3 on this list. Number 2 on this list, shout out to my guy Nathan Snell, and matter of fact, Johnny, shout out to your lady Tracy. Roquan Smith of the Baltimore Ravens. There have been some people that have maybe put him up to number 3 or number 1. There are some people that have him right here. Last year, he was right at this spot as well. He's a model of consistency. 3+ seasons in Baltimore. He's named 3 Pro Bowls, 2 first-team All-Pro teams. I mean, he's one of 2 players to record at least 130 tackles in the past 6 seasons, along with Bobby Wagner's. Still has the instincts, the physicality, the playmaking ability. And listen, there's only one other guy that's higher than him on this list, and that guy is by far a lot of people's favorite, if healthy. And that's going to be a big issue for it because we'll see who that guy is. But, I mean, look, with how much Baltimore's defense struggled, this guy was consistent. This guy stayed in there. He did not drop off. The guy is legit, especially going downhill. As long as you have him on that defense, you know that defense is going to come correct. Secondary might be struggling. The edge, the defensive line might be struggling, but those linebackers are legit. and now you're bringing in Hendrickson. Now you're trying to secure that secondary. You having this guy, and if he stays healthy, Roquan Smith is going to be legit. And I think coming into this season, Roquan Smith could be an X factor that can really kind of put that Ravens defense over the top. They could be something to fear, and what I think is going to be a very good AFC North. And with that being said, the number one linebacker, a guy that if he plays, hell, if he is healthy this year, we've all said it, and I think he remains that this guy is Fred Warner, San Francisco, number one pick on their list. Obviously, we know what happened, injury last year, but I think if you keep him in there, even with the injury, a lot of these coaches and execs and everything still had him at number one. The guy is an all-pro 4 times since 2020, okay? Second only to Myles Garrett, who has 5 during that span. And an ankle injury limited him from 6 games last season, but he made most of those appearances, 51 tackles, 2 for loss, 3 pass deflections, and 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery, okay? The guy is amazing. We've seen him and how he was able to go, left, right, all around the field. I mean, he is a force whenever he's on that field. He is one of the many injuries that San Francisco had that definitely forced, them to struggle last year. But now you get him back. You get Kittle back. Who knows what's going on with Ayuk, because I know he was definitely talking about coming to Washington, but I think he missed that boat. CMC's coming back. Brock Purdy's coming back. That San Francisco team, and one of the reasons why I'm sitting here saying that the Rams get as much help as you can, because that San Francisco team is they're going to be forced to be reckoned with this coming year. And I do believe that 49er team will be a playoff team this year, and they might go deep in the playoffs. That NFC West is going to be a stout division this year, in my opinion, with a lot of the players and a lot of the teams and things that they got going on over there. So I'm excited to see kind of what that is and how that whole thing plays out, but it's going to be pretty cool and interesting to check it out. So look, real quick on that list, number 10 of the Carolina Panthers, Devin Lloyd. Number 9 of the Green Bay Packers, Edgerrin Cooper. Number 8 of the Kansas City Chiefs, Nick Bolton. Number 7 of the Miami Dolphins, Jordan Brooks. Number 6 of the Houston Texans, Aziz Al-Shaair. Number 5 of the Detroit Lions, Jack Campbell. Number 4 of the Philadelphia Eagles, Zach Vaughn. Number 3 of the Cleveland Browns, Carson Schlesinger. Number 2 of the Baltimore Ravens, Roquan Smith. And the number 1 linebacker, based on the votes of NFL execs, NFL coaches, and scouts, Fred Warner, San Francisco 49ers, up there, top of the list. How y'all feeling? Let me know where y'all stand. Y'all think it was a good list? Do y'all think somebody got the shaft? Do you think there's some people that need to be on this list, and there are some people need to be off this list? Let me know how you feel. This list for me, I'm good with it. I can rock with it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. And like Johnny said, nobody has played a snap in 2026, so this list is just a preview. This is just people's ideas of what they think it's going to be, but we really do not know because the season has not started. So let me know where you guys stand. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm eager to kind of see where you align with this list. Yeah, buddy. So look, ladies and gentlemen, it has been so cool having you with me. We're not done yet. I gotta shout out my guy Johnny Dean. I gotta shout him out because I'm also gonna talk about a show that we're gonna potentially do sometime this week, hopefully. And got one little last part for you before I go. But before I do, definitely gotta shout out Alcala's Western Wear. Did a little commercial for them. It's the closest you're ever gonna get me to be a cowboy. Okay, get it through your head. I hear you, Janae. I'm not a cowboy. Okay, it's the closest you're gonna get. But did a little commercial for them. Alcala's Western Wear, and then after that, we're gonna hit you with one last word.
Howdy, y'all. Sean Spencer here. Today we're going to take a look at a little piece of Southern country right here in Midwest home, downtown Chicago.
Looking for boots?
they've got them. Looking for chaps? Not a problem. Looking for hats? They've got that. Find your piece of country living.
One last word, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I appreciate you guys sticking with me, being here towards the end of the show. I always try to give you a little bit something to let you guys go on because I think that is absolutely key. And I think it's fitting. It's my guy's birthday because this right here is something that he's been impressed upon me and has been really talking to me about. And it's while it's good, it's positive, and it's like, yeah, I agree with you, but it's hard to do at times. It's hard to do. So my one last word today is don't be so quick to judge. Okay. And a lot of times, and first and foremost, let me do this. Shout out my guy Johnny Dean. Happy birthday, Johnny Dean. I'm not even gonna ask how old you are, man, because you like wine, man. You age. You like fine wine, man. You age with time, my guy. Hey, the wisdom is there, the football knowledge. You've forgotten more football stuff than I know, and that's saying something because I credit myself on knowing a lot of this stuff with football. But I want to tell you, man, shout out to you, buddy. You are a great guy. You're always quick to lend the ear. You're always quick to throw me some advice, man. And you always ready to get back and chop it up with me, man. I appreciate it. When nobody else is on here watching, you always jump out here and hit me up and watch and let me know where you stand. And I'm really eager to have that all-time top 10 linebackers conversation with you, man, because I definitely want to throw some names out there, and I know you know a lot of cats that should be on that list. So I'm eager to do that with you. Maybe we'll knock that out after here. So Johnny Dean, man, gotta shout you out, man. Happy birthday to you. Hope all is well. We'll chop it up a little bit later. I can't wait. And hey, take care of yourself, my dude. We'll talk. We'll talk. Say what's up to Tracy Foreman, because you know she's cool, people. Baltimore's finest. Yes, sir. Yo, but real quick, before we get out of here, you see what it says. One last word. Don't be so quick to judge. Ladies and gentlemen, I had an interaction with an individual yesterday. And, we'd had interactions before, and he kind of, you know, came with the conversation in some type of way. And, I I was taken aback by the way he came with the conversation. So I immediately put him in a box. I immediately said, this is where you're at. This is where you believe. So anything coming from you is negative. Even got to the point where I was just praying, just God, just why I can't see him as anything else. And it kept, I kept hearing, in church and in certain, Bible study and certain things that God can use anybody to get you to see what he's trying to get you to see. Even those people that you feel like are on the opposite end of where you're at right now. So this guy ended up reaching out to me yesterday, and while he was reaching out to me, he sent me a video. Now there was a video, and there was a cop in the video, and then there was a interaction on the bottom, and I immediately saw it. And coming based on who it was coming from, I immediately assumed this is what it is. This is where you're coming from. So you were just kind of double down, and now you're reaching out to me on a personal level, trying to really push your agenda. And I immediately shut him down. I sat there and said, nah, because of what I see before, I know how you operate, I know where you stand. I'm not even gonna watch this. And then even went as far as to share another video that I had to him and saying, like, hey, you want to see this? Or you want to show me something? Here, I'm gonna show you something. Came back at me and said something that was pretty interesting. Long story short, saying, I sent you something that was actually legit. You're gonna send me something that's coming out from left field. Talk about disingenuous. And I came back and I was like, and I immediately went into my tirade. You came on my post, you did this, you did that, and now you're gonna sit here and trying to come out and have a good faith conversation, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, I got no response back. And I mean, I understand. Then I went back and I looked at the video. And the video was completely different from anything that I would have seen. In fact, it was a video that had I seen it first, I might have shown it to him, trying to sit here and look at me. Don't be so quick to be judged. Don't be so quick to immediately think that somebody is only going to be a certain way. They're only going to be in this box coming from this perspective. I don't agree with all the things that this person believes. And I think some of the stuff, it kind of frustrates me. But at the same time, there's a way in which that we can teach and reach people. It doesn't always have to be surrounded with negativity. And there's a lot of times when somebody will sit here and show you something, you don't know how they're being worked on. You don't know what other friends they have that are reaching out to them. You don't know whatever other stuff is going on in their day to day. And so there's a lot of times when you'll see them send you something and you'll see them kind of, you know, come at you, and you immediately just get to this point where it's like, oh, nope, this is what they're doing. There's nothing else. I'm just going to attack. And sometimes you will miss out on what they were trying to show. And had I not gone back and looked at the video, I would have completely missed out on what he was trying to show. And I would have missed out on the fact that it's what seemed like an olive branch after the fact. Before, I felt I portrayed it as an arrow, and I portrayed it as an attack. And I would have missed that. And a lot of times in life, we don't take the time to go back and see what people are trying to share. Now, I'm gonna be honest, there are a lot of times when the things that they are trying to share is negative. And for that, you know, all you can do is pray for them. All you can do is try to continue to be the good person. And, you know, whatever you believe, for me in faith, you know, just let God handle that. And you gotta wipe your hands clean. But in this situation, I have prayed on this situation. And for him to share with me what he shared with me, it made me then feel bad because of the fact that I was like, I did reach out before and have a good faith conversation. I did reach out before and, you know, share my concern with the things that he might have had gone through before in his life. And in this particular situation, I was being that negativity that I was trying to push away, and I thought he might have been right. So I'm going to take this space to sit here because I'm on here. I have this. We're on air. You know how we operate. I'm going to take this space to apologize. I don't know if we'll ever watch this because, to be honest with you, with some of the things that I said back, I wouldn't want to reach out. But I want to take my time and my platform to reach out and say, look, I was in the wrong. I was absolutely wrong. I should have taken. If I want people to open up and be able to hear what I have to say, even if they disagree, that I also have to afford them that same right. And I gotta give them that same kind of peace, that same kind of peace. So I don't know who's watching this. I don't know if he's ever gonna see it. I'm definitely gonna share it because I have reached out since and apologized after watching the video. I felt, you know, I had egg on my face because it was like you couldn't even have watched it. And in my defense, from the conversation that we had before to then seeing that him hit me up with this, I was kind of like, oh, okay, I already know what it is. I already know. And all I'm saying is sometimes before you go and react, make sure you understand what's being said. Make sure you understand what's being shared. You never know what is being shared, how that might be different. You know? Now, do I know the intentions fully? I don't. But I do know that at least with that particular video or the particular thing that he sent, his intentions were to, it would appear to kind of show an olive branch. So for that, I apologize. I wholeheartedly apologize. And hopefully, if the intentions are to try to come together and actually teach the youth and teach, you know, those that are coming in the next generation to be better than we were and better than we are, then I'm all for it. And that's where we're at. Don't be so quick to judgment, man. Hear people out, listen to them, because if we want people to have and live in a better world, a much better one than we were given, then we have to be the change. We have to be the difference. And if we're not, then we're no different than the people that we're sitting here and bashing and hating on and exploiting. So you have to be the change. Don't be so quick to be judgmental. Take time, relax, be peaceful, see what they're trying to say. Who knows? Good or bad, it could be something in there that you needed to see. So, man, my guy Johnny Dean, I just said a whole mouthful. Now you're back, man. Golly day. Johnny, I'm gonna clip this up. I'm gonna send it to you because I said my happy birthdays. I shouted out Tracy, and I sat here and said something that one of the things that you kind of taught me, man. But look, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta get out of here. Daggone it, Johnny. Yeah, buddy. Hey, listen. Shout out to all of you guys that came in here that have watched me. Say it again, bro. Okay, listen. I'll give you the cliff notes. Essentially, don't be so quick to judgment. Don't be so quick to judge. You know, a lot of times when we're in this day and age where everybody is so quick to rush and say you're this and you're that and you believe this and I don't like that and blah blah blah. Sometimes we'll miss when sometimes people try to reach out an olive branch, or sometimes people will try to, say, hey, look, maybe they've seen the light or something. And we're ready, as soon as we get anything from that person, we're ready to just be like, no, you're wrong, you're wrong. But I'll tell you one thing, and this is actually cool. I didn't mention this before. One thing that my guy Johnny, and shout out to you, Johnny, has always said to me, you want to know how people really feel? There's 2 times where you can tell how people really feel. Okay. One of those times is in tragedy. And hey, we hate to see tragedy, fires, floods, earthquakes, buildings crashing, murders, whatever it is. We hate to see like tragedy and stuff. But when you see in those tragedies, you see the people that come out and there is no affiliation. They're not right, they're not left, they're not black, they're not white. It doesn't matter. It is purely, we are all here helping out our neighbor. That is one of the reasons why I love this country and I love just this humanity in a whole as a whole. When they see their brother struggling and it really hits the fan like that, they throw all that other stuff out the window and they go out there and help. And the other time that you see that is during sports. I love it. You can be sitting here next to somebody that would hate you, that will never speak to you, that wants the worst and everything for you. But if you guys both rocking the same team, you're both rocking the same school or whatever, man, they'll be your best friend for at least that amount of time that the game is going on. And that is what I've always loved about sports. It's the great equalizer. It's the thing that brings us close together. And the funny thing about it was the individual that I was talking about before is a diehard Commanders fan. And that's one of the things that I mentioned is that, yo, dude, I'm a Commanders fan. I've been doing shows 3 years, and man, you ain't never hit me up, blah, blah, blah. But look, that's neither here nor there. The biggest thing is that when we are out here, we got to do our best not to cast judgment, not to immediately think that, oh, this is what it is. I know it. I know this is how they're reacting. I know this is what it is. So I'm just going to cancel it. I'm just going to block it all off. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to go at, because you might be missing a blessing. You might be missing a situation that truly could have blessed you. I had a situation like that earlier today where I was in there walking with a couple people, chit chatting or whatever. And then there was a situation where, somebody left the chat and it was like, this was a person that really could take the gift that you have and really, prop it up. You know what I mean? So we got to make sure that we don't self-sabotage and let ourselves shut down a situation that truly can be a blessing for us in our lives. So, hey, right what Johnny said, I treat everyone as if they need it, because you never know if they do. Now, that's it. And we're going to end on that note. Man, my guy Johnny Dean always dropping gems in the building, man. Except Ben Cornett. Shut up, Ben. I love it. I love it. Yo, Johnny Dean, shout out to you, my guy. You are a living legend. And yo, it is all love, my friend. I appreciate you, my guy. Yes, there is only one Johnny Dean in the building. And hey, ain't none like you, my friend. Ain't none like you. Listen, this is your boy Sean Spencer, man. We here with Off the Wall Sports, but you know the brand. You know the brand. You beyond this. We doing this for now, but the brand is Let's Talk Football. One half of that dynamic duo is me and Janae Struther. We on here making it happen. Shout out to my guy Johnny Dean, NFL Edition. That draft show coming up soon. Johnny, hey, training camp starts in like 3 or 4 days, I think, for Seattle. I think Seattle has theirs on the 17th of July. And then I know who else? July 17th is Seattle. I think San Francisco is the 18th, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, training camp's right around the way. I know my cousin was trying to get me to come out that way to see them, man, to see Washington, see when they start up, man. I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm so excited. But look, we got to get out of here, people. Yo, it's been so cool rocking with you, man. I hope y'all have a great day, man. Hey, take a minute, tell your friends, tell your people you love them, wish that person a happy birthday. I got to shout out my other homegirls, her birthday as well, man. And yeah, as a matter of fact, let me say it on here, Samantha Steiner. Girl, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hey, hey, hey. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Yes. Happy birthday to all the birthdays, the July birthdays. Johnny Dean, Samantha Snyder, all the people that got birthdays, man. Shout out to y'all, man. This is what's up. And I'll expect the same return September 26th. Let's go. No, I'm out of here. Hey, look, I'm out of here, man. You see who it is. Your boy Sean Spencer, one half of the Dynamic Duos Let's Talk Football. I'll see you guys on the flip side. I'm going to bring you guys out on some Let's Talk Football, little love. I know I've sent it to you before, but I got to show love again. And then I'm going to hit you with that ending credit. Peace in the Middle East, rain in Spain. Get your boy going because it's your thing. Do what you want to do. We all fair.
Episode of Let's Talk Football.
Yep.
I am Janae Struther.
I am Sean Spencer.
I am Janae Struther.
I'm Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football. Yo, season 3, we are back. We are back.
That's right.
What's up,
Here we
Mom?
go.
Mr. Nick, I want the smoke, Rosario.
Hey, what's happening, kids? How we doing?
Janae, Sean, thanks for having me.
We like to him. We make baseball, football, and basketball. Rick,
Is Carson back?
Everyone play to the last play. There's other leagues, Raiders, Blues. See how hard it is for this guy, you know what I'm saying? I would think about this. I'm a corner, mama. I'm a corner, mama.
Like we can't back up.
I know it.
maybe you guys need to start wearing cream.
All right. I am Janae Struther.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
Gentlemen, it is your boy, Sean Spencer. We on air, people. We are live. And welcome to Live with Sean Spencer, your boy. Yo, so glad to be here with you guys.
That sun shining on you. Always put yourself in a position where the sun shines on you.